Trustee Williams. Trustee Russo. Present. Trustee Torres. Trustee Zamore. Trustee McOwen. Trustee Ying. Present. Trustee Jaros. Trustee White.
Present.
Trustee Saunders.
Here.
Quorum is present.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. While Rick is trying to figure out what's wrong with my laptop. So we're going to go a little bit out of order tonight. We're going to acknowledge some students. So I'll get up to the order.
Yes. Yeah, the background.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, the Board of Education trustees would like to honor some very special student athletes. The athletes is the Mount Vernon Knights of the Pioneer League. The league is a division of the New York Special Olympics and the Hudson Valley region. The team participated in 4 sports: indoor soccer, poly hockey, basketball, and volleyball. There were 25 competitions in total. Some of the other schools that participated were New Rochelle, Mamaroneck, White Plains, Somers, Carmel, Osney, Lakeland, and Woodland Hills. All of the athletes did an amazing job representing Mount Vernon. They demonstrated school spirit, teamwork, good sportsmanship, and a desire to always try their best. They not only encouraged and supported each other, but also supported and encouraged the players from the other teams as well. Winning was never a priority. This team and league presents an opportunity for these young athletes to be a part of our school district in such a positive way. The following students participated.
You can come up when your name is called, please.
Michigan Andino,
Here.
Anthony Ingram, Sammy Wareham, Twycron Wright, Gabrielle Nichols, gun club? Gregory Santiago?
Can you get in? Get in. All right, there you go.
Zachary Brown? Nas West? Kadeem Sutherland? Brian Simmons? And we have seniors. Destiny Johnson? Abigail Thompson? We'd also like to recognize our coach, the coaches, Rocky Iannella. Rocky, come back. Rocky, come back.
Round two.
Mary O'Reilly. I'd like to recognize the TAs that helped with this, Nicole Barr and Andre Upson. Yeah, there was a plaque mix-up, so we have another plaque coming for you Rocky, would you mind coming to say something? Rocky was my daughter's coach 20 years ago. He's been doing this for 20 years.
This has been such a journey and a pleasure. We didn't have the program for several years, and then Ms. Saunders called me and said that her daughter had remembered this when she was here over 20 years ago. And she said whatever it was going to take to get it going again, and we did, and we hope to grow it. And there's nothing more special than getting the opportunity to work with the most special students in the whole district. And we hope to expand it. Every one of the students and coaches are within my heart every day, and and there's nothing that we wouldn't do for you guys. You're the best.
All of the students and the coaches to come back up so we can get a picture together to memorialize tonight's honor.
Lead the way, bro. Lead the way. Everybody can stand in front of the table. Oh, that's gonna be easy. Not easy. Just stand down. Up there? Are you kidding me? They got a whole front line here. Probably makes more sense. All right, you guys just got it. Does it work? All right, so. No, what are we doing?
All right, tall guys in the back, okay? Guys with Yankee hats in the front.
There you go.
Yeah. You're a Yankee fan too, right? Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know they could.
So we get after him.
I'll make sure I can see everybody. The young man behind the lady in the pink dress. I can't see you. He has to put your head between someone's shoulders or something. I think I can see everybody. Everybody can see me? Yes. Everybody look at the young lady with the blue dress on. She's first. Big smiles.
One child.
Everybody look over here now. Look here. Are you all good? Anyone over here? Samantha, how many are you getting? Watch out. We're gonna get out of here. I gotta touch the ground at some point. Thank you. Whoa.
Also tonight here at the board meeting, Dr. Gail White Wallace was not able to join us, but as many of you know, we just completed our 2018 Superintendent's Reading Challenge, and our students read over 218,000 books this school year. And in an effort to keep the reading challenge going over the summer, every year we have a poster contest for our students to develop posters to encourage our kids to keep reading throughout the summer months. So we're very fortunate tonight to have our school-based poster contest winners with us. So we're going to call your name, and if you come up with your poster, show it to everybody in the room, and Dr. Hamilton will present you with your certificate. Congratulations, and keep reading over the summer, folks. Samantha Rosales.
Samantha.
Arlenis Marmoleos. Rehab Yabi. Xavier Copeland. Matthew Samuels.
Oh, there we go. But you're gonna be getting an award, right? We need to post it. Do you know what the posters are?
Kylie Crawford. Rebecca De Silva. Haley Stridrian. Stridian. Catherine Ashley. Kenyai Walker. Georgiana Morgan.
Nevia Sutherland.
Adrian Rodriguez.
Onelia Lawrence.
Ariana Sinclair.
You mean from? I got you.
David Suchite. Jaden Carruthers. Adriana Robinson. Gabriella Grande. So we have Elizabeth Ellie de Grand Pré,
Yeah.
Gabriela Grande, and Alda Gomez. Jaden Vilma. Layla Farid. Ruby Tyrell. Solome Mandola.
Nice job.
Sonali Nari. Tanya Takahare.
Congratulations to all of our students for your poster work. And what are you going to do this summer? Read, read, read. That's right. Awesome. Good job. And while I'm at the mic, I want to take this opportunity to present a Nightlight Award. Madam President, if you'll join me. And it is my honor to present this to Clem Simone. Clem is retiring after 23 years of service. Clem recognize people who represented the characteristics that we thought were worthy of a night. One that represents valor and charisma and charm and leadership, and Clem represents all of those characteristics. And the Black Leagues of Mount Vernon City School District presents the Nightlight Award to Clem Simone on the occasion of your retirement after 23 years of dedication to the staff, students, and Board of Trustees of the Mount Vernon City School District, presented this June 19, 2018. Congratulations to you.
It's been truly an honor to serve the Mount Vernon City School District. I've lived in Mount Vernon since I was 4 years old. And to be honest with you, I've never had the pleasure of dealing with a lot of nice people. they treat me well always, and I've been very blessed to have that happen to me. And they've been very happy and very supportive when I have my wife very sick. So, thank you. God bless everybody.
With the Madam President's permission, a 2-minute recess for students who may want to exit. Unless you want to stay for the rest of the board meeting, you're welcome to do so. But if you'd like to exit, you can do so now.
Now we'll take communications from the public. Hello? We're going to take communications from the public.
Good evening. The Mount Vernon City School District Board of Education recognizes the critical importance of community discourse and involvement in the education of Mount Vernon's children. And accordingly, members of the public are invited to speak in this regularly scheduled board meeting, subject to the terms and conditions of board policy. Speakers must register in advance by no later than 4 p.m. on the date of the meeting by contacting the district clerk in person here at 165 North Columbus Avenue, by phone at 914-665-5235, or via email at rmccormack@mtvernon.csd.org. The board welcomes all respectful comment, whether praise or criticism. However, identifying and criticizing a specific student, parent, teacher, administrator, or other Mount Vernon education official or employee is strictly prohibited. Such complaints must be presented and addressed through the proper administrative channels. Each speaker is allotted 3 minutes to speak, with up to an additional minute to be used by the speaker to summarize and conclude their remarks. If appropriate, the Board of Trustees and/or the superintendent may respond to the speaker at the conclusion of the public comment portion of the meeting. Our first speaker tonight is Katie Wilson. Our next speaker is Nadia Mandisier.
Superintendent, Board of Trustees, members of administration. Good evening. This is my son Aiden. He was one of the students belonging to the first full-day pre-K class at the Trepagan School. Since then, I've been making a chronicle, sort of our family's journey through our school system, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Recently, as I was reviewing a few incidents, one stuck out that I'm going to speak on today. On September 8, 2016, yes, 2 years ago, just before 9 a.m., I received a call of exasperation from the mother of one of my son's kindergarten classmates. This mother also had a 2-year-old and a very young baby, both of whom she carried in a big double stroller. Unknown to me, every trip to Trepagan had been a challenge for this mom because there was no exterior ramp on which she could push her double stroller to enter the school to get to the front office. Every day, this mom would have to lift her stroller with both kids in it up a flight of steps. On the day of her call to me, this mom was at the end of her rope. She had just asked the Trepagan staff member when the school would ever get an exterior ramp. She was told by a member of staff that she should ask Buildings and Grounds. Now I ask you, which parent knows who Buildings and Grounds is at their school? Not many. This mother called to ask me. I had an idea who to call, and I told her I would call her back. After making 2 calls to our Director of Facilities and our school district clerk with no answer, it was still pretty early in the workday, so I wasn't bothered by that. My 3rd call was the former school board president, Leslie Zamore. He answered. At the time, there was construction going on at Trepagan. So my question to Mr. Zamore was whether a ramp was included in those construction plans. And I told him about the situation with the mom who had just called. A ramp was not in the plan. Of course, I asked, why not? It's 2016. Why is there no ramp access to our school. I proceeded to go on in saying that we have lots of seniors in our community who have bad knees, who can't climb steps, and of course mothers who have strollers, even double strollers, who can't comfortably access the school entrance. Mr. Zamore agreed and said he would look into it and let me know. Unbeknownst to me, after our phone call, Mr. Zamore went straight to Trapegan to discuss with the construction workers how they could possibly do some kind of temporary ramp. The mother who had called was still at Trapegan when Mr. Zamore arrived, and she called me. She was astounded and immensely touched. No one within the school district had ever responded to her like this. She was amazed that Mr. Zamore had delayed going into work to come to Trapegan to look into her request. Even if the ramp had not been done, just the fact that Mr. Zamore responded with urgency and concern, that mother was forever grateful and hopeful that our school district is one that cares. At every turn previously, she was dismissed and told to make do. But that day was different. Mr. Zamore came to help. Today, Trapegan has an exterior ramp for everyone to use, including people on wheelchairs with bad knees and parents with strollers. Now, to some of you here, it may seem like a small thing. Things are small and insignificant to us when they don't affect us personally. I am here to tell you that small things turn into big things. And on a bad day, a small thing will push a tired parent over the edge and will just turn her back on this school district in hopelessness. Mr. Zamore understood this. I see it all the time. In my son's current class alone, we are losing 3 families to other school districts.
Please try to wrap it up. We have one last.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me close by saying that I have sat on several school board meetings and listened to several community members spew venomous verbal attacks at Mr. Zamore. Today, my son and I are simply here to say thank you. Thank you from my husband and I, my neighbors, the Trapegan parents, particularly that mom with the double stroller, and from my son Aiden. Thank you for opening our eyes to what's possible in our school district. Thank you for giving of your time and energy, your talents and professional experience to move our school district. Thank you for raising the bar of service and our expectations from our school board trustees. We all wish you well. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Montezuma, but let's be mindful that we have 15 speakers signed to speak. And
Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate you, your comments, but let's be mindful of others. Thank you. Our next speaker is
Donovan Watt.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a resident of Mount Vernon, and I'm a taxpayer. So I want to speak as a taxpayer and as a teacher, or a former teacher. I worked at Thorne last year as a placement teacher. I had a regular schedule until Mr. Espinal had some issue with the board and he was removed.
Please don't use names.
Okay, sorry. And I was asked to take up his class, geometry class. So I taught Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Geometry. This is a very challenging year, but I endeavored to do the work. At the end of the year, I was even offered a position for all that effort I made. This year, I'm at Performing Arts, 85 students with 1s and 2s, 4 with 4s, and 13 with 3s. I had a 0 period, 1, 2, 3, lunch duty, and next period teach again. I believe that was not a normal schedule for the average teacher. And there was no recourse for students who were not behaved correctly. And apparently, the responsibility had to be on me to keep students to comport themselves in a class. It was overwhelming. It was a challenging year. I don't think going forward this will be the norm. You know, it bothers me to know that I spent a year in Brownsville as a full-time sub, and at the end of the year, I was asked by students, when am I going to be their teacher? And, you know, as a grown man, I shed tears in my classroom when I was told that. And I'm in Mount Vernon, not appreciated by administrators or the population, actually. So I find very disheartening. To live in Mount Vernon, want to make the district a better school district, willing to leave late to help students do better, and yet not appreciated for the effort to make. So now I feel like a pariah in my own district. So I just want to ask the board, going forward, is it possible to be employed as a teacher? Because most times we're given 4 years to show your ability to teach. I'm not even given 2 years. So I just want the board, I'll be coming back to the board to get the follow-up, because this was kind of impromptu. I didn't want to talk as a teacher, because I still have a couple of days in the school year. I want to really talk as a taxpayer to the Mount Vernon School District. So I find very disheartening in the position I'm in right now, with paying into a district, and I'm not treated with equal opportunity. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Michelle Boynton. Meredith Rodriguez.
Hi, good evening. First of all, I just also would like to say thank you to trustees and more for all of this hard work and involving the community so much in the school district. I also am interested in hearing a little bit about the Superintendent's Reading Challenge event that just took place a couple of weeks ago. Specifically, I would just really like to know the goals of the event, the cost, and just a quick recap or review of how you think it went. I know there was a venue change, just sort of a quick reflection on that, and then any sort of future plans that there may be for moving forward with that event in the future.
Good evening, good to see you. From our perspective, the event was a huge success. It is designed to be a culminating incentive for students who meet and or exceed the Superintendent's Reading Challenge. And each year it gets bigger and bigger because more and more students look forward to that culminating activity. The carnival has grown. Each year we add an event or we add an attraction to make it more exciting and more enticing. And again, to keep kids engaged in reading over the summer so we don't have that summer drain. So from that perspective, I think it has been very successful. In terms of the change of the venue was changed because the field at the high school is under construction, and so we had to move the field, unfortunately. It was not an ideal location in terms of access for parents and parking. That was a huge issue, and I'm sure a huge inconvenience. Although no one complained, I'm sure a huge inconvenience to Trap Hagen residents who couldn't find a regular parking spot during that time, or driveways may have been obstructed, etc. But from another perspective, I personally enjoyed having it a little more contained and being able to have a little more control over student movement and supervision. In terms of the costs, I know that during the course of the year there are several events that are generated as fundraisers to go into that, and then we pull some funds from grants to help support that. But the total cost, I don't know off the top of my head, and I'll be able to get that information for you if you like. But by most standards, and certainly from the children's perspective, it was a huge success. And I know the teachers who volunteer their time to be there, and other staff members, our parent liaisons who really helped to orchestrate that. and the vendors who donate their time and goods and services on behalf of the district. I think it is a huge success and a nice way to engage our community around a common effort, and that's to promote literacy.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Our next speaker is Jane Curtis.
Good evening. I'm speaking tonight to offer a tribute to Leslie Moore. Tonight is Leslie's final meeting as a school board trustee. I want to thank him for his vision, his passion, his belief that Mount Vernon could do better. He took on a situation that many thought was hopeless and beyond repair. He inspired confidence and trust in a new direction, a renaissance for our school system. Without his leadership, the $108 million bond issue would not have been approved. Leslie convinced me and others like me that this time the money wouldn't be squandered. A true agent of change, he encountered the resistance and endured the attacks that inevitably result when an old system is disrupted, when the comfortable are made uncomfortable. As he leaves, we will temporarily take a step back toward the old ways. Still, it is said that nothing has been done nothing that has been done can be undone. Leslie knocked down the door of complacency and mismanagement. We must encourage others to now walk through that door. He showed us what is possible. As a result, we will now hold future boards to a higher standard. This will be his legacy. Thank you, Leslie, for all that you have given us. We will miss you.
Fiorella Kelly.
I am here to salute our friend, Leslie Moore, who has left a yellow mark on the school district. Sorry, shouldn't have done this. A mark that we hope will not be easily erased. Leslie is the best thing that ever happened to the Mount Vernon schools in a long, long time. Unfortunately, he was unjustly accused and maligned, but we know who he is. I don't have too much to say, but to quote Flip Wilson, the ugly people know who they are.
Laverne Johnson.
Good evening, all. I'm saying thank you. Leslie Moore's style is certainly unorthodox for the Mount Vernon community. I know his entrepreneurial approach to getting things done often bumped heads in our highly political and polarized Mount Vernon. But I can say without a doubt that Leslie did get things done and was not afraid to roll up his sleeves. I want to applaud his commitment to our schools and community, his positive can-do attitude coupled with his ability to get things done quickly and effectively. Thank you, Leslie, for your efforts and results in moving us forward in support of quality neighborhood schools and the 2020 vision.
And next speaker is Bishop C. Nathan Edwards.
Madam President and to Superintendent Dr. Hamilton, I don't want to rain on nobody. I don't want to rain on nobody parade tonight, so I want to bid you farewell and all of the efforts that you have done for our community. We want to thank you. And though we have had some battles, it was not personal. There was an ideology difference, and I think that we're on the right path. That being said, I want to commend this board as a unit. A year or so ago, you took a chance in securing Friendship for Tots as a community-based organization, as well as Our Lady of Victory, to help insist in the beginning of the University Pre-K program, which has been a tremendous success. I want to thank this board and superintendent, because what you have done is taking the resources of what is so cherished and have bring it into the community where people who don't have the ability to afford good care, not just care, but again the actual pathway to the educational journey. On this Wednesday, Thursday, we'll have a step-up ceremony for the 3-year-olds who will go down to the 4-year program. And then on Friday, we'll have a graduation of the preschools. 54 children, 108 children have been fortunate to be part of our program at Friendship for Tots. Thank you for Dr. White, who was a tremendous help in providing the professional development that we needed, along with our own in-house professional development. Thank our superintendent, his staff, that ensured that the programs that are community-based will exceed and excel even that the programs in the local schools. And we're proud that we could partner with you all and you all partner with us. I have so many stories of so many parents who come to my office, met me in the streets, and said thank me for providing this service. And I say to them, don't thank me. Go to the board meetings, call the superintendent, call Dr. Conroy, call the people who went to the state and petitioned to get the grant. Call, say thank you to your neighbors who provided the supplementary amount of money. I've been in this district as a leader for 29 years, and I am so proud. I am proud. At one time, as a taxpayer too, at one time I was ashamed of this district. I had my head down. But since your leadership, Dr. Hamilton, you've been able to navigate us through some terrible times, and we are on the trajectory of having a great educational system. So all you board members that are leaving and those who are here, don't leave us. This is our community. We one community. We may fight, we may differ, but we all Mount Vernonites. And if we just can pull our energy together and stop with our hidden agendas and stop calling names and stop polarizing each other, I think people will be fighting to get into our city of Mount Vernon. And I'm looking for that day. And I think it's not too far. Thank you.
Thomas Keller.
Well, we have some great people retiring. Jeff Yonkers, Maria Scudieri a few months ago, Clem, one of my favorites right here. It's too bad, but anyway. Concerning the union, we have a new union president in the back here. For the first time, according to the newsletter, the union got involved in endorsing trustees. That's a double-edged sword. You could be on the wrong side of things. People running for re-election, people that, would run in the future. So I think in the negotiations with the union, you better include a paragraph, sentence, no endorsements of trustees. It's a double-edged sword. It's going to come back to haunt people. Evidently it's not illegal, but anyway. A couple of weeks ago, I said it was $29,600 was the cost. If you back out the charter schools like Amani, it's $29. And the superintendent, Mr. Silva, said, that's not the way to look at it. Of course it's the way to look at it. It costs so much to educate a person. Now, if you want to add, special ed is a range of something or other, or we have 16 buildings, New Rochelle has 9 or 10, and they have 3,000 more students than us, that's fine. But the basic metric is the budget and the number of students, and you divide it. And you know, we've gone down from 27 to 18 in terms of special ed. That should be a lot of savings there, mainstreaming. There was a stupid article in the Journal News trying to say that African Americans and Latinos were underrepresented taking the AP, and I salute the superintendent. What's the reason? It's rigor, not something else. Thank you. Finally, a lot of people have stole my thunder. Well, Leslie, I'm disappointed that he's leaving the board. What a dynamo for the last 3 years. And 4 years ago, in May of 2014, my colleagues and I were supporting certain people, and Leslie was supporting others, and I heard all about this guy, and I went over to Trap Hagen and giving out literature. He's giving out literature. Marcus Griffith is there. Marcus Griffith introduced me to him. I said, is this the great Leslie Zamore? And Marcus says, yeah. Well, shortly after that, I went back to my colleagues and said, we're going to get this guy on our side. I mean, he's too good to be on the other side. And I'm my own man. I disagree with Barry Goldwater, Ronald Reagan, Rob Astorino, Donald Trump.
Are you Republican?
You bet. And I disagree with Leslie. The utility tax, metal detectors, September of 16. But I can't think of anything else I disagree with him on. I hope he's going to come back into public life, maybe run for mayor next year, and get us out of this terrible embarrassment that the city is going through.
That's true. I agree with that. I agree with that. Embarrassment. Yeah, no mercy.
Leslie has devoted so much energy, especially when he was the board president, to making sure the students of Mount Vernon have the best educational possible, but also protecting the taxpayer. I've lived here since 1980. I've been around the track. I'm Medicare eligible, okay? I've never met a more dynamic person in the 38 years I've lived in Mount Vernon than this gentleman right here. A little physical thing. We're out campaigning, his wife and myself and Leslie, on a Saturday morning, and we split up the streets. Angela took one side, I took another side, and Leslie took a bunch of streets. And they were broken up pretty evenly. Angela does her job, I do one side, she does the other side. And who's waiting at the end but him? He's doing both sides with the same number of streets.
Thank you, Mr. Keller. Have a good day.
Sure, bye. My praise is not given out easily.
Thank you.
Our last speaker is John Gallagher.
Good evening, Madam President, Madam Vice President, school board members, Dr. Hamilton and your staff, and the public, of course. My name is John Gallagher. I reside on 165 Avenue. I'm the president of Concerned Property Owners of Mount Vernon. I'd like to get up here tonight to talk to all you people that are on the board, and the newly elected school board candidates going to come back on, about our budget. I honestly believe you people did a great job on the budget. My group supported the .89, and I'll tell you exactly why. I had a conversation with Mr. Silva tonight, and I understand that that tax increase is not going to be 6.82 per month. It's going to be a little less than that, about 3. People that are property owners and homeowners will also be getting the rebate and the refund. So your increase is going to be close to probably about 0. I don't have raw numbers in front of me. To me, that's extraordinary under these times. There's several school districts in New York State that the budgets failed because they're asking for 3 or 4%. You people have delivered to the taxpayers of Mount Vernon 0% for the last 4 years. This year was 0.89. That is damn good, ladies and gentlemen. That's hard work. And our schools, the scores are going up, and it's a tribute not to one person, not to Dr. Hamilton alone, not to any board trustee, but to all of you.
Right.
Because you're all involved in it. And thank God for all these, because you're all doing good work. No man is an island. It all has to be done by a group of people, and you're doing the work. My group and myself, for the last, by the way, this whole renovation or revolution of the school district started about 8 years ago. With my group and several independent people from the north side of Mount Vernon, the south side of Mount Vernon, east, west, and central. We had educators, we had business people. We said to ourselves, what's going on in the Mount Vernon School District? It has gone downhill. When I moved here 40 years ago, we had 13 blue ribbon schools. And then when we looked at it, about 15, 20 years ago, we had 0. What happened, ladies and gentlemen? Your taxes went from down here to up there. Your graduation rates went from here to down there. Your dropout rates went this way. The graphs were going in the wrong direction. The interim superintendent, Dr. Judith Johnson, who was a group of people who were on the board at the time, brought on as an interim superintendent, asked to see what my organization was doing. We brought the graphs to her, and she was astounded. She said, Mr. Gallagher, how could scores, graduation rates be going down and your taxes going up? He said, very good question, isn't it? I think it's something you should look at. Dr. Hamilton, you came on board. We put a plan together here, I want to say 8 years ago, 2010, with a group of people I just talked about. We wanted things done. We wanted, you may call it 2020 vision. It was about a 10-point plan. And it was very interesting because point 1 was hire a well-qualified superintendent of schools. Well, I think we've done that, ladies and gentlemen, without a doubt. And I want to see it to continue. There's other things, pre-K to 8, vocational programs, high school of excellence. These were all ideas we had there. You are the people that brought it forward. All of these, not one, all of these.
Right.
Thank you for all your time.
Thank you, Mr. Gallagher. That concludes public comment. Next, we'll go to the superintendent's report.
Well, good evening all. My report this evening, I just have a few things I'd like to highlight. First of all, I'd like to share with you publicly that our students were part of the Metro Awards, which is akin to the Tony Awards for schools in the tri-state area. And I'm honored that our students were even nominated, but more honored that we walked away with winning the Metro Award in 2 categories for The Color Purple, one for Best Supporting Actress and one for Best Actor in The Color Purple. So that's a huge accomplishment, and the process is extremely competitive, and it adds credibility. It adds credibility to our program and what we are seeking to do. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank the board and the staff for a very productive school year as we wind up. In spite of the construction and staffing changes, there's been a lot of transition this year, and some of those changes have been planned, some were unplanned. But the support of the staff, particularly the principals, our teachers, has been beyond commendable. The administrative team and of course the board in particular for being so supportive. I'd also like to congratulate all of our graduates, our pre-K graduates, those who are moving up from grades, 6 to 7, and our students moving on from 8th grade to high school, and certainly our high school graduates. More and more students are getting into 4-year colleges, and I want to salute Marcy Tiggs, our guidance standards administrator, and the guidance counselors for raising the bar, and for doing a much better job with helping our students make choices and decisions around college and career readiness. We are seeing the fruit of their labor pay off. I also want to commend our parent liaisons as I reflect on this school year. We are seeing more and more parents seeking your assistance and being more engaged in their schooling experience, and I want to encourage them to keep up the good work. I also want to send a special thank you to Assemblyman Pretlow. I received a call this morning. They vote on it tomorrow, so it's a little premature, but at my request, Assemblyman Pretlow has acquired additional funds that our district will be able to use to further our work on parental engagement and expanding the arts. A significant contribution on behalf of Assemblyman Pretlow, and I'll be able to share that dollar amount with you once it is made official. And last but certainly not least, I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank Mr. Leslie Zamore for his service. I have enjoyed working with you, Leslie, despite our growing pains. Our relationship has always been professional and has always been courteous, and I want to acknowledge your expertise and your experience in the areas of facilities and construction and design specifically. And I will say publicly that you did get things done. And there are several things that without you may very well still be in the planning stages. So I applaud you and thank you for your service to this district, the amount of time that you committed, the amount of phone calls, and even sacrificing your own business in order to contribute to the district. So I want to thank you for that. And in that vein, I'd like to ask the Madam President if she would join me at the podium, where I would like to acknowledge you further and give you an opportunity to address the public. Thank you. This is presented to Trustee Leslie Zamore in recognition for his dedication to the children of the Mount Vernon City School District on this June 19, 2018. And again, your presence will forever be felt. Thank you.
It was a great experience for me, and even as I continue to drive around the community and seeing all the children and the schools and all the work that we've done, and I know this board and other boards, yes, we do now have a new bar, and I'm sure that they will carry on in all the good work that we've done. And I'm looking forward to all the new schools and all the new things at the old schools that we've done come to fruition. The one thing I want to say about Mount Vernon is, I have a lot of things to say, but I'll keep it short, is that we should not sell ourselves short here. Quite often in this town, I feel that people have very low aspirations for Mount Vernon. They feel as if we can't do any better. But let me tell you something, this community is really amazing. And I've thought about other places that I could possibly move to. And like the other day, I came back from Spain, I came home, and I was so happy to be home. I was so happy to be home in Mount Vernon. So don't sell yourself short here. We have an amazing community with an amazing amount of human resources, as well as other resources as well, homes and proximity and all this stuff that we speak about. But do not sell yourself short. When people say, well, this is Mount Vernon and this, no! We do so much better. And I think this is just the start. Thank you so much.
Check my notes. I think that it does. This evening, Madam President, that concludes my report.
So good evening. I also want to take this opportunity to acknowledge Trustee Zamore for his 3 years of service. Leslie may not have agreed on a lot, but you do try to raise the bar, so I want to acknowledge you for that.
Thank you.
You've also been helpful in the successful implementation of the 2020 vision. Your expertise, you've proven that we have valuable assets in this community, as what you just said. And on behalf of the trustees, I'd like to thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, so we're gonna go to committee reports. I'll start with Ms. Williams. Anything from you?
Good evening, Vernon. I don't have a committee report, but, excuse my lateness, but I also want to publicly thank trustees and more. A huge influence on me. Your energy, your passion for the city, your detailed eye I've been able to receive a lot of that information, and whether you know it or not, I'm going to be studying for you for quite a while, because you're unique. You have a very well put together skill set, and I appreciate it. So I'll ask that we continue to fight, on outside of the boardrooms and outside of politics. I'm confident that I think anyone in this room we should all be able to communicate on high levels to make this place a better place, and just appreciate your contribution.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. That's all.
Trustee Torres?
The budget committee was not read, so it's hard to say.
Trustee White?
I really don't have a report, but I would like to say to Leslie, we ran together 3 years ago. We'll miss you on this board. You have taught me a lot. I'm head of facilities now, and now I go around with a piece of paper, whether it's tissue paper or anything, writing down little things that I see that are wrong in our school, and I bring it back to mind. So I thank you for that, for raising the bar. And no committee report. Thank you.
Thank you, Marco. Thank you.
Trustee Giroux, anything from you?
Leslie, we've been buds for quite a while, and I'm going to miss you on the board, but our friendship will never end.
I appreciate that. And yes, you're absolutely right. Thank you.
Trustee Mann?
Yes, I would say the same about Leslie. His extraordinary vision, his commitment, his drive to the improvement of Mount Vernon's children and Mount Vernon in general. I believe, those are things that will be there forever. Anytime that I pass around the schools and I don't see those barriers, I think of you. And I see those flowers and I see those posts, the entrance. Those are just beautiful, and it's just goes to your creativity, So, and you spend. I always wonder how much time you have in sleep, or you did for yourself, your business, your family, because it's like you're all over, you're everywhere. So thank you, because it's all about the children. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's not about anybody here. It's about those children that we serve, and you dedicated your time for that for the past 3 or 4 years. So thank you again.
Thank you so much. Really. Thank you.
So there was an audit committee meeting earlier today. Unfortunately, due to a train malfunction, I was unable to attend, but Arlene Torres attended for me, and if I can pass along to her, she can speak on that.
So the audit committee, can you hear me? Is it on?
No.
Hello. Okay, I think this is better. All right. So the audit committee met this evening with the auditors and several members of the business department. So we had the superintendent of business, our internal auditor, our senior accountants, and we reviewed 3 reports, specifically a review of the district's procedures related to the New York State teacher retirement system, an updated risk assessment covering the state mandate for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 18, and an intensive review of an Envision payroll conversion and Medicare reimbursement fulfilling the state mandate for fiscal year ending 6/30/18. The risk assessment was performed to review and assess various business procedures and activities And the auditors performed an intensive review of the new payroll system and vision. They as well performed tests that were conducted to ensure accuracy of the conversion from the prior payroll system of munis. In addition, the auditors performed a review to update their initial risk assessment of the district's operations. Since their last visit, the district has responded by making changes to their internal control procedures. Among the changes, there have been new staff members that have been hired, and new improvements to the internal control processes to strengthen our financial condition and operations. The third report included a review by the auditors of the procedures for calculating and the calculation and payment of employee retirement benefits into the New York State Teachers Retirement System. And the conclusion is that the district is compliant in all of their reporting and payments. Additionally, the audit committee had a conversation regarding what areas will be further explored by the auditors. Among the areas discussed were the internal controls and also overtime for staff. That concludes my report.
I just want to, I didn't mention, Dr. Hamilton mentioned congratulations to all the grads. So I just wanted to as well congratulate all the grads in our district. So many graduations this week. Attended a couple of them, and energy is really great, obviously, for graduations, and the parents and family communities that we're at our A game for graduations. We come out, we're prepared, where we have the proper energy, and what we're really looking to do is sustain that energy. So with the parents. So long story short, I want to congratulate the grads, and I also want to give a thank you to Destination College. They did a banquet last week that I attended at the Bronxville Fieldhouse, and it was an amazing dinner that acknowledged all the coaches and students that they are preparing for college. They do a really good job with the application process and helping that transition with a lot of our students in the district who just may not have that what we call insider information. It's detailed as far as getting to that next level with the application, the deadlines, and so many things. So Destination College is a huge asset in our district, and I just would like to thank them for their work as well.
So we'll go with committee reports. I don't know if we have any minutes yet.
Minutes.
So we'll reconvene, we'll go into executive session.
For the purposes of discussing employee matters, legal advice, and that's it. Next.
20 minutes. Wow. Let's see if we can do that. Okay? We'll be back around 8:25. Okay? Motion? Motion. Second? All in favor? So we have no minutes. Now it's the opportunity for board members to mark this here.
But he didn't vote on it. Oh, I'm sorry, that's you. Oh, that's fine. I think they said Don. I thought I said Don.
For God's sakes.
like to speak on this? Sorry to see you go, but enjoy your time.
Any board members
You and
want to
Maria.
remove an item from the consent agenda? Approval of the consent agenda?
Motion?
Oh,
Trustee Buckington.
second.
Trustee Saunders. Oh, somebody, you're moving something?
No. I'm sorry.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. White, seconded by Ms. Saunders, to approve the consent agenda.
Any unfinished?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate first Russia Henderson on her full-time and to congratulate Jen Weslowski on replacing Alan Gonzalez. Thank you, ladies, for your service to the district and your proven leadership.
Thank you. So any unfinished business? Any unfinished business? Any new business?
Second.
All in favor? Monday, July 2nd. 6:30.
Thank you.